Hello.
Okay, hi. Welcome back to the Two Psychics and Intuitive. I just messed up our picture. Please excuse me here. Okay, this is going to be funny. We usually don't have these kind of mistakes, but we are today. Um, Welcome to the Two Psychics and Intuitive Teachers Show. We really want to thank you for joining us again. This is where we teach and demonstrate through our readings and what we teach in between our readings that intuition can be easy, safe, and very useful.
And fun.
Fun, definitely fun. Now, before we go too far, for those who don't know who I am, I'm Nora Truscello. I'm a two-time best-selling author on several Amazon categories, and I do lectures. Recently, I've been invited to Bangkok to speak at the International Conference of Spirituality and Psychology. And I love to teach this stuff. So tonight's going to be very exciting. We're going to talk about a lot of the paranormal. And my dear friend Chris, who's part of this Two Psychics.
Hi, I'm Chris Gerganis from Conversations with Chris. I'm a psychic and a medium and a healer and a teacher. And we like to do all this kind of teaching because we want you guys to know exactly the right way to do it. Not that we're perfect, but we try to get it out there.
We try to keep it very safe. People do not understand how dangerous it can be, and that's what tonight's show is about. So we are, of course, going to be grabbing questions off the feed, and we are going to be speaking to our guest, and one was kind enough to actually download some video to share. But before we get started, our legal disclaimer. Intuition is extremely valuable and useful, but it is not your only tool for making decisions. You have to use the obvious evidence, weigh common sense, and put intuition in there. It is a combination. The second disclaimer.
All of our friends, our young friends under 18, we're going to have a night for you, but tonight is not the night, and we ask that you refrain from adding comments or asking questions. You can watch us and learn, but we ask that you not interrupt the feed or try to get into it too much because it's just not in your league right now. This is for the adults only.
Okay, and with that, let's go in and see if we have a couple comments to get us started. Tina, hi. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Tina.
We have Deanna. Thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. Pedro, hi, ladies. Okay. Toban, by the way, I kill names. I apologize now. But I'm putting you up there so you can see it's you. I'm feeling so lost and alone. Don't understand if it's physical or emotional. Please help me with what you see around me. Okay, so like I said, tonight's going to be a lot about the paranormal. We will address the question, but we're going to address it with an understanding that we're going to be teaching about this also. So when you're feeling lost and alone, I'm going to let you read this person, and then I'm going to chime in with what I feel.
There's a lot of, I'm getting what I call white noise with depression around you. But I also feel like you kind of pull back from the universe sometimes because you don't know how to interact or you're not sure when to interact. But there's something going on around your work or whatever you consider your work, whether it's school or work. And I feel like you got to learn how to balance things a little bit better, and that there's some love life issues that you're not addressing.
Okay, so given that, how does that work into tonight's discussion? Well, depression, not feeling centered, not having a strong core, your internal message that you're sending into the universe, which I call your beacon, is depression. It's sadness. It's upset. So this is going on unconsciously. It's what you are vibrating to. Like attracts like. You will start to attract in, if you're not careful, if you go to a seance, if you do something that would open the door, what you will attract in is extreme paranormal experiences. Now, does every depressed person have that? Of course not. If you're not doing silly things like Ouija boards, you're not going to seance, you're not trying to open the portals purposefully, you don't have to be concerned. But I do want to throw in how this matters because of that's tonight's topic. So thank you, and I hope that we helped you out this evening. Uh, Shayna? Oh, hi, Shayna. You found the link. Welcome. All right, so I want to bring up our first guest, which is Michelle, and she's going to join us in just a moment on the screen. Hello, Michelle. Let's get you side by side with us. Can you hear us, honey?
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous. All right, so those who are out there listening, please feel free to add any input or thoughts that you have. That what we're going to share right now is a video that Michelle sent to us. I will need a half a second because I am learning the program. Where's my link for the share the desktop? Okay, so what we're going to be sharing is a picture of what Michelle actually saw on her camera. So you can see the lights going by, very small little lights. They're called orbs. And she sent us several. Now we're going to pick this apart a little bit, but I just want you to see where they're moving about. So far, I caught at least 3 that moved. There goes a very obvious one. Okay, so I'm going to jump back and leave the screen. Did that show everybody? Give me a yes, a no, thumbs up, something on the feed. Was everybody able to see that video? Alrighty. I'm not sure if they did. Michelle, were you able to see the video?
I can't see anything.
No. Wow. Isn't that interesting? I'm sorry about that.
I can just see you, Nora.
Okay. Hello. Okay, so anyway, let me tell you real quick. A paranormal group comes out, and there are some groups that Chris and I work with, and we trust them impeccably. They will break down the house. They will check every possible thing to make sure there is not something reflecting light, that it's not dust particles. We don't have that here. We just have Michelle's film. So we're going to say it is an orb so that we can discuss what orbs are. So, okay, do you want to pick up on that?
Orbs are basically bunches of energy that are floating through, and it could be a part of a spirit, it could be just a flash of energy, and usually it's just easier to just say that it's a spirit coming through in just a flash, because they don't want to have to always come through embodied as a person because it takes too much energy.
Now, while they're passing through, they are seeing, they are checking in. Most of the time, an orb is going to be somebody you know, somebody that's a relative, a friend. And sometimes it's just the number of spirits that are here. Not all spirits that are here because they want to be. Many of them just did not move forward out to God. They were upon death. They kind of missed the boat. Now the boat is always there. The Jacob's ladder is always there. That light is always there for them to go to. But the longer they stay behind, the more depressed they get, the more down they get, the more earth held and angry they get.
And scared.
Scared is a big
Very
thing.
scared.
So those spirits, which are countless, really do come out at Halloween and during festivals of the dead, when they have the big festival of the death of dead in Mexico and in other cultures. They're there and they're feeling the energy and they're absorbing it. That's why days like November 1st are extremely important in the Catholic religion, where we pray for those souls. We intentionally make a day to pray for them so that they can get that lifted up enough out of the muck to go into God's light. So that being said, Michelle, what questions do you have for us?
I don't think you have enough time for all of my questions.
Well, we're going to give you a few minutes, so throw some at us.
Well, I mean, when you see them, what are you feeling? Anything or getting that it's anyone specific? Because if it's, I do feel like they're here a lot. I mean, outside of me seeing them in the videos, I just get a sense.
I do too. It's definitely family. Grandma's big one.
Yeah.
Your grandmother on your mother's side, she passed?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because she's predominantly there.
Yeah.
She
I
loves to pop in and out.
Does she like cats?
Does she like them?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, when she was alive, did she like cats?
You know what? When she was alive, she had a cat and she got rid of it.
Can you turn the volume up?
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing. Let me try the volume a little bit more. Go ahead. All right, cool. Um, yeah, she's visiting often. She's a tremendous
I
amount of
just feel
love.
they're all just congregating because they know that you can sense them and feel them, and they're just like, "Hey, I'll just pop over and see Michelle. Hi, how you doing, Michelle? What you doing?"
So if you wanted to ask one of them a question, what might it be?
Um. Oh gosh.
But
What
is your
question
house
would
like the party house, Michelle?
You know what? It's not. It's a really quiet house. There's only three
But you
people
have
that
like the
live here.
family gatherings there?
No. Uh, well, yes and no. I mean, we have a very small family, and a lot of them have passed. So
Well, they're
They're
thinking
hanging out.
they're thinking your house is the party house.
yeah,
I
it's kind
keep
of
going.
crazy.
We're going to her house because that's where we always go.
It's kind of weird. Like I almost feel like it's. I don't know. I almost feel like it's in some ways like I don't want to say the word portal, but kind of like a portal for them. Like I feel like they just it's the place to go to.
Well,
Hmm.
it's where their love is strongest. There's a portal is an energy spot that's been opened to the dark side, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily to the light.
Mm-hmm.
The light beings can come and go around you because of your love attachments to them.
That makes
And
sense.
they can pass through and pass in and pass out. A portal
Mm-hmm.
is something you're opening up, and anything can open up. You can get dark, you can get light. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter who comes through. It's
So
like a free for all.
So the ones that are that they're here, I mean, is it all people that I've known, or are they people that I might not know?
There's people that you don't know personally, but they are related to you, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm getting most of it's just friends, and some of it mostly friends and family, but family that's like extended family that you're not, like Nora said, you're not really aware of them. They might have been 2 and 3 generations back.
Wow.
And they're just coming because they know it's a safe place to go and they can check on they check based on love. Anything that comes from the heart that ties you to your grandmother ties your grandmother to your grandmother's grandmother. So if they're all hanging out together, they're like, okay, we'll pop over there with you. You got to do that errand, we'll run with you.
That's
And
pretty
then
funny.
you got all this activity and you're like, holy cow, all these light bulbs are blowing and microwaves are shutting off and people are wondering what happened. And it's nothing, it's just family passed through.
Just family passing around. I had one other question. Do you think there's any specific um person here that might be like a young child?
Mhm.
I got a little girl.
And I got a little boy, so that's not helpful. But
Well,
that doesn't mean that both are not there.
they're
It's just,
there, but I feel like they're tied to the land. They're not tied to the house.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm getting very old dress type of like Puritan almost.
and this
Wow.
might not be appropriate for me to ask you, but I am. Did you lose a child in pregnancy?
No.
Okay, because I'm getting a spirit that's very attached to you as if it was your child.
Really?
Um, a boy, a male energy, very attached to her.
Yeah, I see him floating around her, but I see this other little girl tied to the house. And I'm because I followed her core line went right to the ground.
So the important part of that, when we bring it into tonight's conversation, is the need to actually pray in your house. You were privy, Michelle was privy to our ritual, for lack of a better word, of how we pray before we begin any of these shows. how we pray before we do a clearing, how we pray before we do readings. When I answer all the questions that appear on these feeds after the show, everyone is done with a prayer. These souls need the same kind of energy that we bring to the show through prayer. They need it. So this little girl does not know how to get out of where she's at. Say a prayer that is meaningful to you. The Lord's Prayer is really one of the most powerful, is the most powerful. If you're not even Christian and you can just respect who Jesus Christ was as a man, if you don't want to see him as a Godhead, this powerful healer, miracle worker gave us a prayer. It's awesome, the Lord's Prayer. Use that in your house and just invite any spirits there to move up into God's love and light. You do that once or twice a week and you're going to feel shifts in your houses. I promise you, you're just going to feel an uplifting. You are blessing your home and clearing it out. Michelle, thanks for joining us. I really want to get some of the questions on the feed, and thank you for sharing the video. Unfortunately, it didn't show to everybody, but some people did see it. So
awesome.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's grab some of these questions because there is quite a few that are popping up. Tina, my daughter wants to, what does Kyra, K-I-R-E-A, want me to do, and how do I do it? All right, so your daughter, Tina, is asking this question: what does Kyra want me to do, and how do I do it? Kyra. All right, let me feel this one out. I am getting absolutely nothing, which is unusual. So I'm not sure if Kyra is even present enough or in a position to be able to respond.
Is Kyra a spirit?
Let me scroll up. Hopefully, Tina, you have an opportunity to quickly throw that into the feed for us. But I don't want to hold off too long. Maybe you can give us a little bit more detail and we'll come back to you, sweetie, because this is an interesting question, but we're not pulling anything from this spirit. So, hoping to find out, this is Shayna, hoping to find out about my 16-year-old niece who has spirits around her all the time. And they are getting to the point that she not only sees them, they are starting to speak so others can hear them also. What's going on? Okay, Shayna, awesome. This is so important. And I haven't shut up. So I'm going to let Chris jump in on this, and then I'm going to pounce right in there with some information too.
Well, what she's doing is she's opening up as a medium. And a lot of teenagers around this age do that. I have one in my family that's opening up too. And basically you have to teach them the basics of protection. You have to teach them how to keep their spirit and their centered, safe, and grounded. And the spirits want to talk to them because they know they can hear them. And it's almost like all these little children are walking around like light bulbs. Think of like a pool of light bulbs, and only some are on, and they're bright, and they're like throwing off sparks. Well, the spirits go, that's the one that can hear me. I'm going to that one.
Exactly.
And the spirits are just like, got me a friend now. And they just yabber, 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 yabber. And you got to learn how to get in your center, control them, control yourself, and let them know, yes, I hear you. I'm closed down. This is not the time. My time to hear you is when I'm ready. And it's between these hours. And you have to let them know because they don't have night, and they don't have sleep time, and they don't have lives up there. They're just looking for somebody to talk to them. To
communicate through. And many of the spirits that do communicate through have not gone into the light. They're desperate for help. So now they see this light, they go to it, and they're not going to stop pestering her. I went through a lot of stress as a young person. I at times really thought I was going to break down. I didn't understand I could turn it off. I didn't understand I could say, nope, windows closed, sorry, not now. And they respect that if they want you to assist them. So she needs to learn the 4 principles that I put in my book. Now, my book is really kind of advanced, and it's a very short read, so it might be too much for her, but it's the 4 habits of, the 4 necessary steps for healers and light workers. I didn't want to promo myself, but I am right now, because this is going to give her the 4 steps, and you can grab it on Amazon. But I'm going to talk about them right now. You must have an ideal. Now, what is the ideal? For me, my ideal is Christ. An ideal is that which you strive to be like, that which is perfect, that which is perfection, that which encompasses all love, all strength, all mercy for you. Now, to another person, that might be Gaia, that might be Buddha, that might be Muhammad. Chris and I are Catholics, so to us, it's Christ. But at times,
for Native Americans, it's great eagle.
Right.
I mean, it just depends where your center is at, and that's okay. We don't care.
We don't care, but she
it.
needs to identify it, and this goes for all of you out there who are starting to open up. You need to identify that ideal. And before you start communicating, and when they're trying to talk to you, you need to discover what your ideal is. And before you begin to talk, you want to kind of imagine your personality getting small, like kind of shrink yourself up to a mini-me. And just say, okay, personality, ego, you're going to sit over here and just wait, because now I need to be clear of my personal opinions. I need to be clear of my personal views, so I can hear the spirit clearly and hear what the ideal might direct me to do. Next is you call on that ideal. So I would call on Christ. So I read somebody's message. I already am set. My personality is out of the way, and I'm like, okay, Lord, direct me. What do you want this person to know? Now, before all of that, so I'm going to go back a tiny bit. She has to be physically strong, and she has to be energetically strong. There's more to us.
Mentally clear.
Mentally, right now, teenagers, it's tough. You're starting to go through a lot of crazy things. But this can actually help you when you start seeing the difference you can make. It helps you grow even as a teenager. So mental, energetic, and spiritual, all 3 bodies must be strong.
Just like they say, heart, body, mind, and soul. It's got to all be linked. Don't do it unless it is.
Okay, super. I hope we helped. If you have any other questions, your niece needs any help whatsoever, you text me through Facebook. Right now, my website's acting a little funky because it's being rebuilt. Text me through Facebook, and I will gladly speak with her and help her through this if you want me to, because it's that important to me. All right, Dina Roseanne, I need to say hello to my brother, Angelo, who passed away. I do know he's in a better place. So then you just say hello, sweetie. Say hello with a prayer. Because even when they're in a better place, the prayer energizes them. And that's love to them.
That just makes them giggle in heaven. When you pray and you talk to them from your heart, that's a prayer to them. But a formalized prayer, whatever religion you are, it makes heaven even lighter and happier, and it makes it easier for them to feel your energy and your love.
All right, I want to bring Chris into the conversation, but I don't see her in the feed right now. I just see her name, and she was there a little while ago. So Chris, if you can hear us, get back in front of that camera so we can bring you up. Let's see what other questions we might have in the meantime.
Well, I wanted to bring up a little something about dark energy and how to center yourself before and if you think you have something negative going on around you. And negative things and negative energy are going to bring on some bodily symptoms that you're going to need to know about. upset stomachs, sweats, headaches. People start feeling that, and you know there's negative energy around you, and you want to be very careful with that energy. And people want to talk to it and play with it. It's not something to be played with. I'm telling you straight up. We've been on some cases where people have gotten thrown across the room. They've got scratched across their faces and backs. And we're talking big, beefy firemen.
Strong people.
They were picked up like little pasta and flicked. And I'm like, hi, how you doing? I got to say, Michael, what do you got?
Right. So Chris and I guard ourselves with Christ's love. We do not walk into these places until we're filled. So that's not saying that the people who go with us are not trying to do the same, but they're not doing it at the level they need to. They're not shrinking themselves up into those little mini-me's, putting a personality on the side and being of service only. Only being there to do what God is asking us to do. They have an alternative, an ego thing. Yeah, we're doing these shows. We're having a great time. Our alternative, heck, we'd love to be megastars. But if we never are, so be it. This is our joy. This is God's putting us here so we can do it. So we take our personalities and whatever happens, happens. The goal is to always have your personality out of the way and be prayed up. So on that, I do want to share, I do want to get to more questions, but I got to tell you the story of Chris and I at a house that was very dangerous. And even even after cleaning the house, they went ahead and did the same stupid stuff again and invited more danger in. After cleaning it a second time, I basically told them, you do it again, you're on your own. I mean, I'm not your house cleaner. And they did it again and they had to deal with it. But the interesting thing was Chris and I met at this house at the request of a paranormal team who was having difficulty. They knew there was something there, but they couldn't get it out. And Chris and I knew each other, but we didn't know each other as friends. And we was just like, oh, it's you. Hi, nice to see you. So Chris is smudging. I use prayer and holy water. Chris uses prayer and smudge. Thank you, Chris. I'm going to get you up in just a minute. So while we were walking around, I saw Chris's mouth moving. And I said to her, I said, what are you saying? And she looked at me like I had 6 heads. I'm praying. She says, what else would I be doing? I said, what else? I said, you're the only other medium I met other than myself who prays to get rid of these things. She was as dumbfounded as I wasn't discovering her. She was dumbfounded and discovering nobody else was doing this. And that was it. We became good friends. And from then on, our husbands are completely jealous of us. Okay, on that note, I want to bring Chris Smith up. And she's going to join us in just 2 seconds. Hi, Chris. Can you hear us, honey?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I can. That's strange because her picture's not moving, but we can definitely hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go. All right. So how can we help you? What's going on?
Well, I have 3 pictures to show you.
Oh, cool. Oh, by the way, people, share. And if you have any comments about these orbs or any, you can help each other out. I'm going to try to bring you up larger so we can see. Nope, wrong way. Let's do it this way because I want to see the picture. Okay, interesting.
Okay, that's the first one.
Okay, and where did you take this picture, or where did it come?
Right outside my back door.
Okay. Any particular reason? Why did you take this picture?
I picked this picture because I have never seen anything like it, and I didn't. Here's it is not blown up. You can't.
Right.
This little itty bitty thing down here.
Okay, I see what you're pointing at.
Yep.
So you then blew it up and saw the other figure.
And I blew it up to this.
Okay. And what else?
That's what. And then we have this picture.
Oh, how unpleasant.
That's in my curio cabinet. That was taken. It was just a picture taken of me. And when the picture came out, that's what was looking at me.
Okay. When? did you take these pictures? And when was this picture taken of you?
This picture was taken of me last summer.
Okay.
Both of these were last summer.
Fabulous. Great. Okay. So earlier in the show, I talked about a beacon. There's something going on in Chris's life last summer that when the door to the other side cracked open, it started attracting this kind of stuff. So what was going on last summer or just before this all began? What crisis did you have? Something happened emotionally to hurt you or physically to hurt you? What occurred?
There was kind of an upset with my older daughter and her wedding, and I kind of got deeply hurt over it.
Okay, so
and didn't even think anything of it, and since then it is full blown in my home.
Yeah, you just don't realize that your emotions are signals. They're signals. They're beacons. They're saying upset, anger, upset, anger. Now, something occurred that cracked the door to the other side. And the other side then hears the message, and like attracts like. So upset and angry entities get attracted to you. Beautiful, loving energies get attracted to you when you can just forgive your daughter. Accept that these are her decisions. Accept that they're not personal. They're just what's going on for her. And that you love her anyway. And put the ego aside. And the energies that are going to come through are going to be loving, caring, joyful ones. Because that's what's being attracted, because that's what you're giving out. Does that make sense?
It does. But the part that doesn't is we are still living in hell here in my home.
Once the door's open, they're there. We now have to close the portal, and you got to move them out. So I'm going to definitely put Chris on, because this is we both love this stuff, and I'm talking too much. This is the Two Psychic Show, not the Just Nora Show.
Basically, Nora's right. You opened up a portal, whether you realized it or you intended to or you didn't intend to. And what I wanted to talk about is people like you that don't know that A, they opened one, B, how deep are they in, and whether they can do it themselves a fix or whether they need professional help. Now, while Nora was talking to you, I kind of took a little look at your house. You have some serious issues going on. I'm not going to be gentle with you. I'm going to tell you.
No, I know.
About three
They're
different
bad. It's very bad.
You don't want to go in your basement, do you?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No.
I wouldn't want to go in there on a good day.
No. Okay? And my attic is out of control.
Well, you have a portal that goes from your attic all the way down through your house. It's almost like a column right to your basement. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like when you pass through it outside the kitchen area, you go past the kitchen towards the back of the house, and it just feels like, ew. Like I feel like, ew, I want to get out of here. So what can you do to change it? The 1, 2, 3 step is you got to get some holy water. You got to smudge. You got to start praying. You got to take control of your house, and you got to cleanse it to you. Okay? And what I mean when I say cleanse it to you, you have to claim it as your home, your sanctuary, and that your God is in charge. And he's there to protect you. He's there to protect your home, your animals, your property, and all the way to the roots and the core of the earth. And you have to just think this, believe it, breathe it in, meditate, get your energy straight first, and then get the smudge started.
No, but first, did you make peace with your daughter?
Oh, yes.
Her? All right, fabulous. Okay. Of course, that closes the door.
Right.
Once you close the door, I should say, they can't reopen it because that beacon is not screaming for it to open.
Right.
What is your religion?
Oh, I'm a Catholic. I'm a devout. I'm saying my rosary almost every day. I go to church. Okay. I mean, since my granddaughter's been here, I haven't, but I go to church every morning. And that's where my problem is I've had my house professionally cleaned twice already. And
By
it's
who?
still here.
Who, honey?
By who? Well, I've had it cleaned by, oh my goodness, Susan.
Okay, so I'm
back.
sorry. No, wait. When we said by who, we shouldn't have said it that way. Did you have it done by a priest?
Yes, Ed Broderick.
And a brother, and then another medium.
Several mediums.
Okay.
All right. And like I said, Reverend Broderick was here. He came. Susan and her team came. Yes. Yvonne.
Okay. I don't need all their names. I just wanted to get the types.
Yeah. Oh no, it's been and it's still bad.
All right. So it's not going to clear. You had a priest. They blessed the home. Unfortunately, in the Catholic religion, there are several priests who don't believe there's evil. They'll come in and bless your home.
Right.
And then there's the traditional priests who without a doubt say, of course there's evil. Why would Jesus have come in the first place if there wasn't evil? And there were exorcists and there were true professionals in our church. Now, Chris and I have studied under some spiritual warrior priests who teach us, a lot of this stuff and what to do. You don't need to get a priest back in. You don't need a reverend. You need to, like Chris said, take control of your own house. So you stand in the middle of that house. You have holy water because that is your belief system. You make sure the holy water was blessed.
Right.
By a priest that you're comfortable with, one that you really know understands what you're up against. When you go to confession, ask, Father, do you really believe there's evil out there? And if they say yes, you say, great, do me a favor, re-bless this holy water for me. Mm-hmm. You want somebody with real belief in there is good and there is bad, there is dark and there is light, there is demons and there are guardian angels. Yeah. Because that is the kind of power you need to bring to this. And you already have that belief system or you wouldn't be going to church. So in the middle of your house, you start citing the Lord's Prayer, but you make sure you first bless yourself with the holy water and have no fear. We're really spending a lot of time on her. Gosh, and I hope I'm not losing people. This is extremely important. Fear and anger are going to feed the energies in your house. These are, I don't want to say demonic, I want to say extremely dark and horrible spirits. Because I would be nauseous right now if they were demonic. Are you?
No, but I
didn't go visit. We got a lot of protection around us right now.
We're triple bubbled. So
yeah.
The likeliness of us feeling
it from here, without us intentionally doing it.
By to help you, because I already asked him in my head if he would go and he would be your guardian. And he says she needs me and more than me.
All right, so you're up against a lot.
So he wants you to actually pray the rosary, if you don't mind, before you do this, and then say his prayer a couple times and some holy water. And if you feel like you want to smudge, you can use it. That'll just give you a physical idea of how much is in there, how much negativity. Because when you smudge, the darker, the heavier the smoke, means the heavier the energy.
And it's black when I smudge. The smoke is black.
Yeah, okay. So
it's bad.
So do the rosary because that gives you the power. You have your ideal. Now you need to step aside. You need to just say, Lord Jesus, I'm a channel of your power, your love, your energy. I step aside so you can take this battle. I need not. And you have to do it without a doubt of a speck of fear. Not a speck of fear. Fear and anger. If you get angry at these things, they love it. They eat it up and they get strong. Yeah. What destroys them is you're loving them. It's like, I feel so bad when I have to go to a place and clear it. I just feel so bad for these spirits. They go so quickly because I'm loving them. And I feel bad when they choose to go the opposite direction when God's giving them an opportunity.
Really upset.
I do. God's giving them an opportunity.
offended.
God's giving them an opportunity by us being there praying for them to move into his arms. And some of them don't choose it. Some of them choose to
We've
go
only
right back to the
lost two
dark.
of them, and she thinks
I
it's
take
like,
it personally
oh,
because that's a lost soul. That's a
Yeah.
sad situation.
Yeah.
If you don't look
Yeah.
at them the way I look at them, they're nothing to fear. They're like rabid dogs that it's a shame. Oh my gosh, if I can't help this dog, they're going to have to put him down. Approach it with that kind of compassion. And I want to get questions answered on the feed, but you do not hesitate to contact me and for any assistance, and I'll help you the best that I can. I do remotely view and help people clear, but I am hesitant to do that. I'm not hesitant to do it. It's a whole nother story as to why I don't remote anymore. And that's because of can be very dangerous. So, but anyway, I will be there for you. I will help you through this. So let me say goodbye for now. And thank you so much. You really helped us get across a lot of what I wanted to talk about and Chris wanted to talk about.
Yeah, the smudging is very...
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. And best of luck.
No.
Whoops, I got it. I'm sorry, sweetheart. All right, I'm not a tech person. Let's see what other questions we have.
Mediums and electronics don't go together, folks.
No, I know. Let me see.
We're doing the best we can.
Okay, so we're going to scroll up a tiny bit. Bear with me, and Chris is going to
share.
Yeah, share. We haven't asked you to share. And by the way, while I'm looking for the next question, that's Chris's phone number. You could just text her for a reading, and she'll be glad to get you on her schedule. And please share us. And if you would like to be a guest on our show, just put guest in the feed and I'll give you my email where you can send your email information and I can communicate with you that way. So Amber, I hope you're still there. I had a presence with me last night. Can you tell me who and why? Ooh.
Amber? I feel like it was a female Amber. And it feels like it was on the mother's side of the family, but I don't believe it was the grandmother. It might have been an aunt or a great aunt. She was just checking in on you. She felt like you felt sad and worried, and she just wanted to comfort you. I get a lot of comfort.
And you understand how they need to be crossed over because I do see it later in the feed how you said that, and thank you. So if you're not comfortable with the person visiting you, just pray for them to cross over. Say a Lord's Prayer, say a Hail Mary, say a St. Michael prayer. There are so many prayers out there. Tovan, I love you too. Thank you. That means so much to us because we really love you guys. You all just made us explode on the internet. We had literally over 4,000 views last week. We're just two moms. And I'm a grandma now. She's going to be grandma shortly. And we're so happy that we are making a difference for people. So thank you. You lost everyone you love. Can you tell me if anyone specific is around me? Oh, she's got a crowd around her.
It's a big crowd.
Yeah, everybody is around you, trying to hold you up and support you.
But you feel very sad all the time.
And if we talk about, that whole thing about sadness, it's the same thing. You don't want to attract more sadness in. You don't want to attract spirits towards you that are sad. Right now, your family's around you trying to rally you so
they're trying to bring in a lot of light and lift you up and give you a reason to be. You don't really think there's a reason to be without them. You feel like you're the only person on an island is what they're telling me. And I'm sorry. I know how that feels. I got a lot of family on the other side too. And every once in a while I try to exit stage right and Nora brings me back.
No, I don't. The doctors do against her will. She actually gets mad at them. The thing is, they're sending you so much love and so much joy. Maybe you can find somebody to talk to, a counselor, a reverend, somebody in your church community that can just help you express that sorrow and get it out of you, so it doesn't start attracting sad spirits that are trapped in this earthly realm, because that will start creating disturbances in your life. So if you can get that clear, find a good friend, find a good ear, get it out, and then start forcing yourself to do things a little bit at a time that is joyful and fun back into your life.
One thing a day for yourself, even if it's just taking a shower.
Yeah, just feel good about it. I mean, be joyful about it. Thank you so much for that question. All right, let's see. I got goose. Oh, sweet. Okay. Suzanne, how do you know if the orbs are friendly or not? How does Michelle know if there is a danger around her? Okay, that's really orbs are usually friendly. I mean, I've never seen an orb that wasn't, and the reason is when energy comes in that's negative. If you are the exception, I can actually see energy. It comes with sharp edges, sharp turns. It doesn't flow gently and smoothly. It's very abrupt and direct, arrows like.
Knives.
Right. It's not, and it's heavy. It's not that glowy, light, flowy. Very often, I know this is off topic, but the orbs are fairies. Okay, don't too many people click off now. This is just a belief system, but there are elementals out there, and a lot of them travel with the orbs. So I hope that helps. All right. What about a dog? I'm not sure, Suzanne, we just had you up. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So feel free to put that comment a little clearer, and I will get to you at the end of the show within the next 24 hours. Carla Jones, can you tell me who is around me and if there is a message? Whew, I'm so battened down. I'm not grabbing them as quickly as usual.
Well, the Carla, I just feel like you have 3 of them around you right now. One feels like a mother or a grandmother type of energy. Another one feels like a brother or uncle, like very protective, wants to make sure you're okay. And I feel the other one is a grandfather, and he just thinks you're funny. He just wants to keep up. He gets bored over there. He's like, oh, let me look in on the baby. Let's see what she's up to. Ah, look at her. Look what she's up to. And he goes back to his cloud. He just checks in on you, wants to take a temperature check. The brother or uncle kind of feeling, he just feels really, it could be a cousin. He just feels like he went really quick, and he's just kind of touching base and making sure you're protected, because sometimes you don't always feel secure. And the grandmother and mother energy, she just feels very loving, and that she wants to tell you it's going to be all right. Stop stressing out. Things are going to calm down.
Okay, thank you for asking. Please remember to share this video, guys. That's what has us.
Share.
Share. You like us, you will share. And again, if you want to be a guest, just write the word guest inside the comment section, and I will send you information. Tina, hi ladies. I am tossing going back to medicine. Thoughts? That's so funny because I always tell you not to. I'm getting absolutely. And what took you so long to finally figure that one out? I'm sorry, that's what they're telling me. I'm also seeing the path that is very rich in joy and finance. This is going to be a financial stress on you to go back, but it will eventually be worth the effort. There's going to be a lot of effort. There's going to be a lot of stress, a lot of things that you're going to have to manage, is what I'm being told, but the rewards are there, and you are truly a healer. You belong in a field where you can bring the joy of healing, even though it's not necessarily through alternative methods, but that joy of healing to others. Anything else?
Well, I feel like have you owned your own business and been on your own for a while? Because I feel like you like the independence you have now. And just remember that when you go back to medicine, there are some good things that are going to happen. but there's also that scheduling that you're going to have to get used to. Again, it's just a big change for you, and you just have to kind of get with it. And once you get in the habit, get in the flow, it'll be okay.
Okay, Shauna, thank you so much for getting back with us about Kiera. Kiera passed away recently due to suicide. That's who she's talking about, and that's why we can't reach her. It's suicide, number one. Number two, it's recent. Now, when you commit suicide, those who are Catholics, they no longer consider that a mortal sin, and you are not going straight to hell. They realize it's a mental illness, and it is a severe depression, and our Lord does not look upon an illness as a sin. But that being said, it's like you go toward the light, and then you kind of got to take this U-turn and go through such a process, your soul, so that it understands all that it did and how it gave up such a precious gift. She can't communicate with us. That's why we just did not pick up anything.
The way I explain it, Shauna, is the souls that commit suicide, they're not in hell. They're in timeout. They packed their bag early, cut across the lawn, and God said, all right, took the shortcut over there, sit in timeout, think about what you did, and then we'll talk a little bit. So the best thing you can do for her is to pray. Mm-hmm. I tell my clients this all the time. She's not in any place right now to talk to us. It may take her 5 of our human years, because they don't have a timeline over there, before she's even ready to come with armed angel guards to talk to us. And that would take a lot of prayer, and that would take a lot of light from the spirits that are already over there to help her come to a gifted medium that could actually handle the energy and talk to them. She's not in a really bad place. She's just not in the presence of God, which is considered what heaven and nirvana is. Okay, so she's not in a really bad place. She's just
in a place of learning, in a place of patience and waiting.
Kind of lost, and she's got to figure out all those lessons she was supposed to learn here that she can't. When anybody she hurt here, she's now got a blockade because she can't heal it, because she can't talk to us. So it just creates a whole secondary problem. So the fastest way to get her where she needs to go is a lot of prayer for her soul.
Yeah, pray
and for her spirit, that she may find mercy and understanding and a way to God in heaven, and to learn whatever she needs to learn quickly.
Okay, Judy, I'm going to answer your question offline, because I want to stay on the topic of evil and spirits. So David, my son, hi Dave. I'm very proud of this young man. He's going to be a doctor come June. He's finishing medical school. And I take full credit. No. Can evil spirits manifest themselves as insecurity, be it a job or a social interaction, etc.? Okay, so that's an attachment. And an attachment is a spirit that hangs on to a person and actually starts interfering with them. Mm-hmm. And it's like the old cartoons, and I don't know if my son has seen these really old cartoons where you have the good little angel on one shoulder and the demon angel on the other. But those are it's just like that. And insecurity is the demon angel. We are all given a guardian angel. We are also given a demon angel from Satan. He has assigned one to us. So insecurity, hatred, anger, intolerance, all of that is coming from that guardian who is trying to keep you from moving toward the light and moving toward goodness. So yes. Do you want to add anything?
The attachments, like your mother said, they can infiltrate and they can bind to the spirit if they're there long enough. And sometimes people invite them not knowing that spirit is trying to be helpful at the time that they invite them into their lives. And they could be there for a very long time. Whether it show up as knee pain, or it shows up as back pain, or it shows up as social etiquette problems, whatever.
Drugs, huge. Evil attaches itself to you.
Drugs
Drugs
and
are
alcohol.
immediately, boom, you're open. You get drunk in a bar. I don't care if it's the first time you ever get drunk in a bar. You have just opened yourself to so many lost souls that are just hanging out in the bar, waiting for the opportunity, knowing that your consciousness is going to shift and they can get in there. Now, you never just feel the same. You never just feel right. All of a sudden, you're acting in behaviors that aren't what you're used to, or is common for you. Those are strong attachments. Insecurity, in general, is just the demon trying to get you to move in his direction. Oh, and I forgot to put you up there. Isn't he handsome? I love that boy. I love all my boys. I'm so blessed. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for all you've given me. Okay, Lisa. Lisa is an old client of ours. I recommend praying throughout your home daily and reciting Holy Spirit presence be with you in full faith. Peace will blanket the home and family. And she's so right. And Lisa learned the hard way. She had some nasty characters at her place. So thank you, Lisa. And you would be really, if you allow me to, I'd like you to hook you up with some of the people who need some help, and maybe you can advise them.
Yeah, because you've been there. You've done it. You know what to look for.
Okay, so I do see Tina Lewis says, yes, she passed away 3 months ago, but I'm not sure who you're referring to, Tina. So
I think it was the young girl with cancer.
Yeah, probably Tina Lewis. I'm going to just flip through real quick. So, because these are important subjects and I don't want to miss out. I guess you were speaking about the same young girl, and it is tough. Suicide is really it's an epidemic now in our country. So keep an eye out for people you love. They hide it well, but do your best to notice when things are off and try to get them help as soon as possible. Renee, do you have any messages from mom or dad side of the family who have passed, or my mom or dad? So much going on in my life right now.
You have to answer that. I can't answer that.
Oh, shoot. I'm so darn tied down with protection. It's actually hard for me to hear the spirits. So, Renee, I can't, and that's being honest. I can't. It's funny.
All right.
No, give me a second, because guys, you got to loosen up the protection just enough for me to hear. Okay. Okay, they are concerned about you, your parents. They're concerned about you. They're concerned because you're overly analyzing the situation that you're in. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. And they just don't understand. Where's their calm, level-headed, almost business-like daughter? She seems to be more of an emotional mess. And that's their concern. So they are worried about you. You need to, they're sending tons of love. And I'm trying to get an image. Okay, so I'm getting an image of a 45 record. And a lot of laughter, and like your mom and dad almost jitterbugging, kind of dancing, joking around. That's their way of letting you know that is truly them telling me this, that this is their concern. They want to find you to find yourself again, and to take the time you need to do that, but to grab your bootstraps, pull them up, and start acting like the person you are, not this emotional mess. So, did I do all right, since you have read her before?
Yes, ma'am, you did fine.
See, I know what I'm doing. All right, guys. I hope that was helpful. All right, and thank you, angels, for loosening up the protection enough. Deneen, I hear voices and they tell me great things for me and others. That's fabulous. Now watch out, okay? Evil does not come as its true presence. If it did, we would all go running for the hills, begging God for mercy, rubbing our faces in the dirt and asking for forgiveness, because we would see evil for what it is. there's a beautiful side of evil, and that's how it comes. Lucifer was the angel of light. He was the most beautiful angel. So he's not going to appear as a creature with hopes. He's going to appear beautiful. And they're going to talk to you, and they're going to give you great messages. You need to be able to identify, is the message being sourced from joy and love, or is the message coming and its source is anger? What do I mean by that? These are intuitive footprints, and this is my message. This is my mantra. This is my calling in life for people to learn. Other book. Okay, I can't even reach it. It's all about intuitive footprints. Well, the book's not all about. I only mention it a tiny bit. I will be writing a full book on it. Intuitive footprints are the energy impressions you receive on your body. So for me, and everybody's footprint is like a fingerprint. You're going to feel it differently. But you physically feel other people's or other spirits' emotions on your body. If there is gratitude in a room, or if a spirit comes to me and it's a spirit of gratitude, the bottom of my feet tingle all the way up to my knees, right up my legs to my knees. If anger is around, or if anger is coming to me through a message, and it could be a beautiful, loving message, but anger is what's sourcing this message, I get a flash of heat on my left side of my face. With joy, I actually get a tightness in my right jaw. Now, intuitive footprints there's a couple universal intuitive footprints, so you understand what I'm talking about. Everybody gets a gut feeling. Everybody knows when they ignore that gut feeling, it's a mistake. That's in the universal intuitive footprint. It's one of the few that is the same for everyone. You need to train yourself to recognize anger. So, Deneen, when these messages are coming to you, you want to make sure that they're coming from a source of love. So you need to identify on your body where you sense love and where you sense anger. A quick thing that happened to me. When I meditate in the morning, that's my prayer time. That's my holy time. Leave me alone. I don't care. My time with God time. And I decided to do some spiritual writing. And I was receiving some beautiful messages for several days. And they were personal. They were meant for me, not to be shared. And they were meaningful. They helped me a great deal. Like the fourth day in, I'm writing what I'm hearing, and I suddenly got the flash of heat on the left side of my face. And I realized, whoa, a negative energy, a demon type energy came in disguised as the one that was previously giving me the messages, because my joy side was triggering for those messages, to try to get me to listen to his good message. Now, if I didn't pay attention, eventually, over time, he would have taken those nice, beautiful messages he was giving me and twist them a little and start saying how I'm so great. You're so wonderful, like feed the ego. And you're so important. So they use your ego against you, and they make you feel so important. Well, he didn't get through because of the intuitive footprint is my purpose. And right away, I cleared myself. I cleared my room. I actually cleared the whole state of Delaware because I was living there at the time. And I was like, I'm not tolerating this crap. But that is very important for you to understand. Now, it is 10 o'clock, and we have quite a few more questions. And as usual, I am going to do my best to address everyone within the next 24 hours. I do want to at least put Chris's phone number up there again. If you want a reading, Chris gives 10% discount to those online. You can just write down that phone number, text her a message, would love a reading. Please call me back and she'll schedule it with you.
Do you want to answer some more questions?
I'm good. I'll answer more questions. I just know you have a long ride home. All right, so we're going to hang on for a little bit if anybody wants to hang on with us.
I didn't get any hearts, guys.
Yeah, we didn't see too many hearts float by, guys. We'd like a few.
Little
All
more
right.
hearts.
Here we go. Chris, you mentioned the girl might be like a Puritan. I live in the heart of Amish country. Any chance that's what you see? Also the boy, any other information? All right, you know what? I'm going to take that offline because unless you got something really quick.
The Puritan could have been the Amish girl. They dress very much similar. So it very much could have been a local Amish girl that's just tied to that land.
And by the way, Linda likes your shirt. I love her shirt tonight. Yeah.
I'm dressed for Halloween.
All right. So are the dark spirits evil and the light spirits good? Basically, yes, but not necessarily. I mean, that's being really unfair to the color black because that's a beautiful color. But basically,
when they're starting to turn into the dark side, it means they've gotten to the point where they can't find the light anymore. So we have to try and show them the light. And usually if we pray with them or pray for them, they usually turn into the light. As Nora said, she gets like terribly upset, and I have to like pat her on the back if we lose one or two here or there because she has a bird. And I tell her, free will exists even
in the dead. Yeah.
Even in the dead, and God gave that to all of us, the good and the bad. So I have to console her with that thought, and we pray just like we would if they're going to go into the light.
So
but yes.
Yeah, the important thing is your son sees them, so that's great. He has clear vision. You need to train him on the importance of picking an ideal. Let go of his personal desires. Make that little mini-me. Put the ego on the side. Make sure his body is strong. He's energetic. I'm talking like your son is a man, not like he's a child.
He's a child.
And call on Christ. That's what I was afraid of. And now, as a child, you teach him by example. You pray in front of him. You thank God in front of him. And then as the spirit, you say, okay, honey, let's hold hands and let's say a prayer so that spirit can go see God. That's how you're going to teach your son to be strong and protected. All right.
And by the way, if you two or more pray together and it's a negative entity, it will run for the hills at the spoken prayer out loud. They will take off so fast you won't even have to worry where they went. They're gone.
Matt, do demons actually exist?
Yes.
Okay. That was easy. Thank you. And is it actually possible to summon them or be possessed by them? Oh my God, yes, Matt,
yes.
Please don't.
Oh, please don't. We got enough work.
Magic is real. We had the pleasure of learning a lot from this.
It was a cardinal and a bishop.
And I'm trying to think of what's the guy's name that he was the head of the, he was the high priestess in the largest satanic cult. Oh my gosh, I know his name.
He was the
King. All right, I'm going to think of his name. When I do, I'm going to comment it to you so you can look him up. And he talks about the power of magic only occurs when you call forth a demon.
We studied with these people.
Right. You have to summon the demon up to have that happen. You summon a demon up and you have basically sold your soul. You are in for a lot of difficulty. It is not.
And for all the people around you. It's not just for you. It's for your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your grandparents, your whole family
will start to be tortured. And it will go into the future. It will go back in time. It can just...
It's nasty.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with this stuff. So in short, the answer is yes. And I actually just...
We've cleaned up cases that kids thought Ouija boards on computers, paper, were fun. And that they could talk to their loved ones or they could do what they wanted and nothing was going to happen. And we've been out there several times to clean it up. And then finally we just said, either you're going to do it our way or you're not going to do it.
Yeah, because we can't keep coming out.
And there were demons at that house because they opened a portal so wide and so large that it was like a strobe beacon to the dark side.
Now, here's the powerful part. Because of the way Chris and I are, they were cleared out of that house in 20 minutes. Hello. And we're not saying this to brag. We're bragging that we're God's tool. We're bragging that we get out of his way so he can send his spirit through to do the work. We don't do anything. We just make ourselves small, get out of the way, say our prayers, and watch the fun. And it happens. It's not Chris and I, it is all God.
We're just the mouthpieces. We're just here to break it down for you, to make it easy for you to understand, to let you know you're not alone. Mm-hmm. We've got lots of clients out there with the same problems all over the country, all over the world. I've got clients that call me from Guatemala, from Mexico, from Russia, Chile, Canada, you name it. I think I got them like in 5 or 6 different foreign countries. And they're having problems just like we're having. It's not just one person, one problem. And that's why we're here doing this. That's what it's important to us.
Yeah, this means more to us than anything. I mean, we're ecstatic how it's growing, but we're ecstatic because that means more people are going to understand. Okay, this is...
And protect themselves.
Yeah. And pray. So we share, by the way, share. Pray. Okay, so Amber, thanks for getting back with a little bit more. The presence that Amber felt was like warm and tingly. It was comforting. So just notice when you're around loving people who love you, where on your body do you physically feel it? I get warm and comfy. Now, where do you physically feel it? I physically feel joy, an instantaneous tightness in the right jaw. That's what an intuitive footprint is. Do I have loving, warm feelings? Yes, that's not an intuitive footprint. That's my emotion. I want to read the other person or other spirit's emotion, how it triggers on me, not how it makes me feel. That's a big distinction. Thank you for bringing that up. Next part. I'm working on clearing and opening chakras 17 and higher, so I'm starting to feel a lot more. Okay, I focus on the 9 chakras. Well, mostly I focus on the 7 chakras. I have an understanding of the 9. I'm not sure of the other ones, but it's wonderful. If that's the system you use, then use it. But use it with an ideal that you've picked, whether it be Christ, the Blessed Mother, Buddha. You find somebody that represents that pure love and light. And that is who you call upon when you're traveling. You do not clear these kind of chakras and make these kind of moves without them moving you.
You got to have that protection. It's essential because you can't open all those chakras in your core to anything that's out there, because anything floating by could just jump in. And then you've got a real problem. You got a possession at that point. And they're really hard to deal with. They can be dealt with, but they're really hard to deal with.
Yeah, we don't personally deal with possessions. If a person is possessed, I have on 2 times in my career referred people to the Catholic Church because
we have
you're possessed.
We can help you.
Yeah, we're not going to play sorry, we're really good, but we know what our job is, and our job is not to do the exorcist job. Our job is to just refer to him.
And that's another thing. You guys got to know when you're in over your head.
Yeah.
If you're smudging and you're praying in your home and things aren't moving and they're not changing and things aren't getting better, you need to start to seek professional help. People that can help you, priests, professional clearers, whatever you need to do. But try not to pull in too much help from the dark side or any spirit trying to think they're helping you, because a lot of times they're just fooling you. They're just letting you think that they're winning, and they're not.
I'm so glad we stayed on. Tina, take that camera from your daughter and throw it out. Daughter takes pictures and spirits show up in them.
Yep.
You can actually totally see them. And no kidding, you know what she's doing? She's opening a portal. When you intentionally go out to try to take pictures, now she might not have in the beginning, 1 or 2 showed up, and now she's like, oh, this is cool. Let me see if I can get more. And they start doing it. Boom, portals open. Anybody who's having an emotional, negative feelings going on, an upset, anything in that family, that's what's going to be attracted in through that portal. The demons, the energies, the negative stuff come rushing in. So tell her that's nice. Let's give them their privacy. Let's not take any more pictures of them. And let's pray for the ones whose pictures we now have. Sound good?
Works for me.
There you go. You got it from both. All right. Do family members who've passed away know when you are going to die? Yeah, they do. They help you cross over.
They try to prepare your way.
Very often you'll see older family members like all of a sudden say, oh, where's my brother? It wasn't my brother Eddie was just here. I was just talking to him. And they'll be like a little bit out of sorts, or you know, I was just talking to mom, and or they'll start talking to their mother while they're like half asleep. It's because their family comes and helps them go back and forth a little bit, getting them used to it. Mm-hmm. It's like a child in the womb at that last week or so is starting to get into position to be birthed. Well, you're getting into position to be birthed into God's light.
Yeah, and a lot of people that are crossing over, they're seriously ill, that are in a lot of pain. They're given a gift, is my impression, of being allowed to be taken to the other side and shown the other side, saying, this is where you're coming to. This is what's here for you. And here, so your physical body's in so much pain that your spirit is okay. So your body's still going to go through that pain, but you may not remember because they have your spirit and your consciousness with them. So you might just think you dreamt that you were on this great tour and you've seen all these wonderful things and that was it. And you come back into your body and the doctors are looking at you like, where'd you go? Why are you so happy?
I just want you to know that Matt had a question about smudging, and Lori, Chris's daughter, answered it for Matt. So just go check it out online. Thank you, Lori. You do have the best teacher in the world. If you want to be a guest on an upcoming show, please make sure to put a guest into the comment section. But I do think we really do need to officially close it this evening because as you get tired, you do get more vulnerable. And given the subject we presented this evening, we prayed for extra protection. None of the electronics went down, just a few glitches here and there. Thank you. Thank you for being there for us. Please share. If you like us, share. And hopefully we'll see you next week, God willing. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.